Coming up on this episode of NPS Now, a new district-wide Teacher of the Year is named. Students show off their artistic skills at the Fine Arts Festival, and Larchmont Elementary celebrates its 100th anniversary. All that and more next on NPS Now. Hello and welcome to NPS Now, your source for news and information about Norfolk Public Schools. I'm your host, Karen Tanner. The Norfolk Education Foundation sponsored an event where employees were honored for the great work they do for our school system. Don Anderson has the details.
Some of our best and brightest employees were honored at the Half Moon Cruise and Celebration Center during Norfolk Public Schools' Evening of Excellence recently. This event combines the Teacher of the Year and Inspiration Awards programs into one big gala. 52 Teachers of the Year from all schools and auxiliary sites were recognized. And out of that distinguished group, Matthew Rodruck from Willard Model Elementary was named Citywide Teacher of the Year.
Thank you for everyone for pushing me to go further in my teaching, to make me give everything I have to those students who really love it. Thank you. Let's give everyone a applause.
The third grade teacher, who has been teaching for 9 years, says educating children is a natural fit.
I grew up with both parents as educators and grandparents as educators. It was something that was built into me. I like coming in. It's fun to do something different every day. The kids make it exciting. The reactions I get on one day is not going to be the same reactions I get the second day. You can see the lights clicking on different days. It's just, the kids keep me young, and I appreciate that. It's just little things that I get from them.
Mr. Rodruck is absolutely wonderful. He engages students. He does so many kinesthetic activities in his classroom. He loves technology and has even purchased his own smartboard to put up next to the other smartboard, and has really enhanced the learning with the technology as far as TEI items go. He's just engaging with the students and just loves them, and truly is an awesome teacher.
Sharing the evening's spotlight were winners of the 2014 Inspiration Awards. These awards go to those employees whose job does not require teaching certificates. 8 awards were handed out and included Most Outstanding Instructional Paraprofessional, Most Outstanding in School Security, and Most Outstanding in Office Support, which was given to Michelle Aragones.
Oh, I'm really excited, and I'm, of course, thankful because this is a huge honor. I know all of us throughout the district work extremely hard throughout the day to support our students, and I have an awesome support system at home with my husband, my girls, and my mom, and at work, of course, with my team, and it starts with our leader. I have to say Dr. Lanz is amazing. I love her, and she just inspires me to do better.
This program was just one of the ways Norfolk Public Schools acknowledges the quality work of its staff.
I wish we had more opportunities to honor our employees the way we honored them this evening. They are so deserving. They work so hard. And this was an opportunity to just showcase a portion of the talent that we have, not all of the talent, but the finest, some of the finest that we have in Norfolk, from the teacher end to the custodial end, and what happens in school, food services, and transportation. It's just wonderful when we can applaud people for what they worked so hard for all year.
Students, parents, friends, and family celebrated the arts in Norfolk Public Schools at the Fine Arts Festival in early May. Here's Amanda Verrata with the story.
Dozens of impressive works of art and outstanding young musicians' talents were on display during the 12th Annual Fine Arts Festival at Norview High School. The event featured not only works of art, but was also very interactive. Students could visit numerous tables to create art with provided materials, and art students from several schools were on site creating various types of art.
Well, today we are making art for NPS, and there's also art stuff over here. There's lots of art projects that all the schools have been doing, and it's just a great way for all arts, even music, to just share what they've done over the school year.
Well, we're making designs on foam like squares, and then we marker them, and then we put a sponge on a piece of paper and we flatten them down, and it like prints them. It's really interesting.
Kids make meaning of the world in lots of different ways, and one of the ways is through the arts and through thinking through the materials that they have at hand. The visual arts in particular, well, and music also, allow you to make decisions about what you're doing without having a lot of parameters.
Not surprisingly, music also plays a huge role in the festival. Throughout the day, 5 different all-city musical groups from elementary and middle schools performed in the auditorium. Despite having limited practice time together, the groups sounded amazing. While the festival is a lot of fun to attend, it also highlights the value and importance of the arts in our district.
Well, the Fine Arts Festival is important because the arts are important, and they're a big part of what we do in Norfolk Public Schools. Our kids benefit from their learning in the arts, and this is a time to showcase all their performance skills and have the public enjoy the fruits of their labor.
Sherwood Forest Principal Cheryl Jordan got to be a commanding officer for a day in early May. Captain Michael Johansson, the real commanding officer of Naval Support Activity Hampton Roads, invited her to spend the day with him to see what it's like to be in command of a naval base. During the day, she attended various meetings and even toured new living quarters for single sailors. The two originally met as part of the Norfolk Education Foundation's Principal for a Day program.
It's been a great opportunity. She shared Sherwood Forest with me 2 years in a row. And I just wanted to get her out to see what the Navy does on a daily basis and what a commanding officer does. A lot of what we do is the same. A little bit of it is different. And as she'll tell you, I think she's taken away some tools that she can use that I do as part of my daily job.
As a civilian, we take so much for granted about what they actually do in the military. My son is in the military, is actually in the Navy, but they talked about safety, climate, taking care of the people here, building relationships, and that's what it's all about. That's what we do in the schools, but just watching it from a different lens here has been amazing.
Community members, parents, and students gathered together on a sunny Saturday for a celebration commemorating Larchmont Elementary's 100th anniversary. The speakers included students from the present and past who spoke about how much the school meant to them. After the speeches, a time capsule from 1990 was opened. It held a Larchmont t-shirt, several newspaper clippings, and other items. Former principal Dr. Pat Malisi concluded the ceremony, and then she officially opened the carnival for students and their families to enjoy. School superintendents and administrators from across the state met together at the Norfolk Waterside Marriott to share ideas and learn from one another. The event, which was hosted by the Virginia School Boards Association, enabled members from several districts to discuss how poverty affects education in both rural and urban environments and look at some possible solutions.
What we are doing, we are coming across our county lines, and we are working as a collaborative group of administrators to impact student achievement. So we're not looking at just the students within our county. We're really looking at the state as a whole of how can we as leaders affect all of our students through coming together collaboratively and working together as a professional learning community.
Our presentation is about the similarities between rural and urban divisions. The characteristics are the same, the common denominator is poverty, and we are just going to dispel the myth of what urban is, because they are the same characteristics in urban and rural.
The biggest challenge we face, and I think in both urban and rural, is issues related to poverty and then also the resource gaps between have and have-nots in communities.
So I co-chair Virginia School Board Association Task Force on Schools in Challenging Environments. So our task force is looking at ways that, whether we're talking about school board members or local communities or VSBA or the General Assembly or localities, can come together and collaborate to make sure that all of our children, no matter their zip code, can have access to a high-quality education and be successful future workers here in Virginia.
Parents and community members were invited to a public forum at Lafayette Winona Middle School that focused on the school's closing for the 2014-15 school year. Following a presentation by Superintendent Dr. Samuel King, the audience was invited to make comments to the school board and administration. The City of Norfolk and Norfolk Public Schools are looking for citizens to serve on steering committees for public engagement regarding the design and construction of 5 planned school replacement projects. Meetings regarding the construction of Camp Estella, Broad Creek, Larchmont, Ocean View, and Camp Allen will be held throughout the months of May and June. If you're interested in joining a steering committee, contact Delcino Miles at 757-499-9627 or email delcino@themilesagency.com. The School Board of the City of Norfolk will hold a public work session at Norview High School on Wednesday, June 4th at 2 p.m. The work session will be aired live on WNPS Channel 47 and on the NPS website. A recognition ceremony will follow the meeting at 6 p.m. If you have any great story ideas or events happening at your school, please be sure to contact us at mpsnews@mpsk12.com. Coming up next, NPS Sports with Steve Sutmiller. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to NPS Now. I'm Steve Sutmiller, Senior Coordinator of Athletics. Middle school spring season just concluded. Let's take a look at the highlights.
Under a clear blue sky, the middle school track championships were held at Lake Taylor High School. On the girls' side, Lafayette Winona won the title on the strength of 4 first-place finishes and by winning the 4x100-meter relay. While on the boys' side, Lake Taylor cruised to the title. Lafayette Winona's Rolanda Edwards picked up 2 first-place medals in the 100 and 200-meter yard dashes. Amina McDonald won the 400, and Juana Hardy took first place in the 800 meters to power Lafayette Winona to victory. Lake Taylor won the boys' title in convincing fashion. Tyler Washington won the 1600 meters, and Ivan Blow took the title in the long jump. Also, Lake Taylor placed in the top 3 in every event but the 4x100 relay and the shot put. Let's take a look at the team results and the individual winners. Those that placed in this meet went on to the Norfolk Portsmouth Track Challenge. Let's take a look to see how Norfolk did. Field hockey finals at Powhatan had the Northside Stars taking on the Navigators of Norview. Northside in blue made it to the finals by defeating Ruffner 1-0 in the semis, while Norview knocked out perennial champion Blair 1-0 in an overtime penalty stroke thriller. A close encounter throughout the game here on the turf, but this game was decided by one goal by Samantha Rapicon. That propelled Northside to the title, winning 1-0.
High school spring sports is concluding. We are now getting into our conference tournament play. Check out your Big Team websites for all conference results, times, dates, and schedules. More NPS Now after this.
Welcome back to NPS Now. With us today is Sheriff Bob McCabe with the Norfolk Sheriff's Office and William Mann, Director of Programs for the Norfolk Sheriff's Office. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us on NPS Now.
Thank you, Karen.
I'm glad to have you. Every year you all host special camps for our Norfolk students. What type of camps do you host for our kids?
Well, this is going to be our 13th year of doing a sports camp, which is a combination of football, basketball, and this year we're throwing baseball in, courtesy of Norfolk State. This is our second annual summer camp where we do 5 one-week summer camps. And the whole idea is just trying to keep the kids busy during the summertime while they're out of school.
Well, that's a lot of camps. Tell us one by one. So when is the basketball camp?
The basketball camp, well, it's that 1 week. It starts June 23rd. We have baseball. The 24th and 25th of June, we're going to have basketball. And then football is the last 2 days. And the whole idea is we call it a kind of like life skills and drills. The carrot is the sports, getting them involved to come out and participate and kind of hone their skills athletically. But it's also to bring out, we feature professional, college, high school coaches and players that come out and talk to the kids about how they got to be successful, and that you can be good in sports, but unless you take care of business in the classroom, take care of business at home, then you can be the most gifted athlete there is, but you're not going to make it anywhere. And so we've been doing that for 13 years now, and it's been kind of neat to see the kids. We focus on the middle school age, 10 to 14, and we've had some generation, second generation now that come out, and they help, that used to come there as 10, 11-year-olds, and now they're in college themselves and successful, and they come back. So really it's kind of keep the kids busy, but also give them something they like to do. And we couldn't do it without the partnership with the Norfolk Public Schools.
Right.
The schools have been great as far as providing transportation and lunches, and the camps are all totally free. I've been blessed to have a foundation I started about 15 years ago, so there's no cost to the parents or to the kids, and they have a wonderful time. Keeps them busy, keeps them out of trouble, and so we try and do that as much as we can.
Let's break down each camp. So the one-day camp is June 23rd. That's the baseball camp. What are some of our students going to be doing?
Well, this is the sheriff talked about over at Norfolk State, and we're happy to be over there because we've been trying to find a fit to have the kids visit the campus. And that's the other part. The kids get experience of having different interactions with not only the coaches, but now a lot of them had not seen Norfolk State University and see how beautiful it is. It's really just strictly drills, learning about baseball. As we all know, that baseball is one of those sports that's not as glamorous, especially to inner city kids. So Major League Baseball has a big program. They've been trying to get kids interested in baseball again. So that's where we're taking it with that, and we just decided to do it one day. Then the next day, Tuesday and Wednesday, we feature basketball. That will be at Norview High School. And again, we move it around every year. Last year it was at Granby. This year it's at Norview. And the same principles. This is strictly drills and skills, and it's the hook for sportsmanship, those other things that kids will run into. And we talked about education, all those things.
So the 5-week camp, That's just for girls only. What's that about?
Well, it's a 5-week camp. The first week is for girls only because we partnered with the Girl Scouts of the Colonial Coast, and they're gracious enough to allow us to use Camp Apacis off of Granby Street. And so they had asked, can we have 1 week just geared towards girls? I said absolutely. And then the other 4 weeks are co-ed. And so, we have anywhere between 40 and 60 kids each week. And they have a good time, and a lot of these kids wouldn't have the ability to to enjoy these things because again, it's all free, and a lot of these camps that you see locally or even around the state, you have to pay $200-300
Right.
and need transportation also. It's really nice to be able to provide this for them.
What are we exposing them to for those 5 weeks?
Oh, the 5 weeks, they'll probably never kayak. They'll probably never do archery. There is a swimming pool out there, so they get to have some fun with that. But they also have arts and crafts. We also have nutritional classes, hygiene classes, and just life skills classes. What's important to get through the day. And so we kind of do the fun. They get to play, but then they also kind of get some life skills classes. And again, these are all volunteers that come out there, and so it's kind of like a great package for the whole week that they get exposed to all these things. The kayaking, I'd never kayaked before.
Have you done? You haven't done it yet.
I've watched it from the shore, but so a lot of the things they wouldn't get exposed to. So we're happy to be able to provide that. And again, with the help of the Girl Scouts, who have a wonderful facility campground over there at Camp Apacis.
Well, you talked about the exposure piece in the Girl Scouts. Who are some other sponsors in addition to your foundation that's going to be helping you do these camps?
Well, we get, of course, I can't say enough about the Norfolk Public Schools because without their transportation and without providing, lunches, and they're going to step up, and it's going to be this year for the first time they're going to be serving breakfast as well.
Oh, that's great.
And it's been a great partnership because we also provide security during the summer months for some of the summer schools. So it's a nice trade-off in the partnership that we have. Town Bank has been a sponsor. Vice Mayor Angela Williams has sponsored it. But we get so many other, and Billy might be able to think of some other sponsors, but it's nice to be able to provide this to where it doesn't cost anything, and seeing the parents when they come out and they either drop their kids off or pick them up, and they thank us for the impact that we're having on their kids. So that says a lot.
When you think of the sheriff's office, you think of the jail system. Why do you feel it's important to connect with Norfolk's youth?
Well, I was a policeman 12 years before I became sheriff, and my last assignment was in the youth bureau. I was in charge of the runaways in Norfolk and the truants and so forth. And especially in that middle school age, I remember growing up, there was, playing baseball, basketball, football, year-round sports, and there was always something going on. And now it seems like if there's not something that captures the young folks' attention, they tend to maybe get into mischief and do some things that they're not supposed to do. So to me, it's kind of like a crime prevention tool as well. The busier you keep them interested in something that kind of captures their attention, it keeps them kind of focused through the summer. And by the time you know it, the summer's almost half over, and Norfolk's got wonderful programs. They got Sail Nauticus and the school programs during the summer. So hopefully there's enough programs, and we're playing a little piece of it to kind of keep their time occupied until school begins again.
And that's a great opportunity for our students. Approximately, Bill, how many students do we enroll each year in these camps?
Well, it varies. We average for baseball, we don't really know at this point, but I would say for basketball, we normally get about 70 kids for the 2 days. Football, the numbers go up to maybe 100 plus. That's because of the space. But there's so many things that go on, because one of the things that is also we pack into this week, there, especially youth camp, there are a number of presentations made by the bomb squad. They have the drug dog out there, they have the fire department, and they have so many different presentations. This year they're going to take a trip over to the Norfolk Zoo, and that's going to be a field trip during a youth camp. So sports camp's a little different because we keep them power pack. They're going from one station to another, so we don't have that much opportunity for field trips or anything. It's not about that, but certainly it's more about coaching, education, what you have to do, not necessarily be a professional athlete, but because there are a lot of things to do other than just be a professional athlete, because there's so many variables that say chances are you won't be.
This is a lot of great information, and I know parents are watching at home. So let's do a quick recap of the dates, the times, and how to contact you all. So the first camp is June 23rd, that's baseball. June 24th is the basketball camp, 24th and 25th at Norview High School. And the football camp is June 26th and 27th at Powhatan Field at ODU. And then the June 30th camp is for girls only for 5 weeks, right?
Well, the first week is for girls, June 30th to July 6th or something like that. Then the next 4 weeks are going to be open to boys and girls.
Okay.
So it's 1 week at a time, but the girls are going to get the first week because the Girl Scouts have asked us to do that. In fact, the other thing they asked us to do is if I would sponsor some of the girls who may not have the ability to join the Girl Scouts. And I'm happy to say that one of our deputies, Corporal Fawn Folks, is going to be a Girl Scout troop leader at Coleman Place. And I think we've got about 15, 18 girls from last year already signed up to be a part of it. And so, and I'm taking care of their activity fee. And so again, it's just being able to do just our little part to try and keep the girls engaged as well as the boys.
This is great. So for more information, who do they contact?
They can contact Community Affairs at the 441-1066.
And what's your website address? I'm sure you have information on your website.
If they just go to sheriffbobmccabe.com, that's the foundation. They can also go to norfolkyouthsportscamp.com. There's a whole bunch of different
ways
links
that they can get information.
And if they will pre-register, and again, transportation's free. We do pickups at the different schools.
Is there a deadline to register?
The deadline for the sports camp is when?
Well, we've tried to do it the first week in June. So that first week.
That first week in June, before school gets out.
Yes.
Great. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming on the show and talking about these great sports camps to keep our youth engaged over the summer months.
Well, thank you for having us. And again, I can't thank the Norfolk Public Schools for the partnership.
Great. Thank you very much. We want to thank you for watching NPS Now. It airs weekly on WNPS, Channel 47, or you can watch us online at www.npsk12.com. Again, thank you for watching NPS Now.